गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता सप्तदशोऽध्यायः श्रद्धात्रयविभागयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच ये शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेषां निष्ठा तु का कृष्ण सत्त्वमाहोरजस्तमः। श्रीभगवानुवाच त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा देहिनां सा स्वभावजा सात्विकी राजसी चैव तामसी चेति तां शृणु। सत्त्वानुरूपा सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत। श्रद्धामयोऽयं पुरुषो यो यच्छ्रद्धः स एव सः। यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्षरक्षांसि राजसाः प्रेतान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये यजन्ते तामसा जनाः। अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः दम्भाहंकारसंयुक्ताः कामरागबलान्विताः कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तशरीरस्थं तान् विद्यासुरनिश्चयान्। आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु। आयुः सत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः रस्या स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृद्या आहारा सात्विकप्रियाः कट्वं लवणात्युष्णतीक्ष्णरुक्षविदाहिनः आहारा राजसस्येष्टा दुःखशोकामयप्रदाः यातयामं गतरसं पूतिपर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्यं भोजनं तामसप्रियम् अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञो विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् इज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विद्धि राजसं विधिहीनम् असृष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनम् अदक्षिणम् श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञा पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते मनः प्रसादसौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपो मानसमुच्यते श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्त्रिविधं नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसं चलमध्रुवम् मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम् यत्तु प्रत्युपकारार्थं फलमुद्दिश्य वा पुनः दीयते च परिक्लिष्टं तद्दानं राजसंस्मृतम् अदेशकाले यद्दानम् अपात्रेभ्यश्च दीयते असत्कृतमवज्ञातं तत्तामसमुदाहृतम् ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देशो ब्रह्मणस्त्रिविधः स्मृतः ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिताः पुरा ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु I think we were in verse 80.
Pilaji, Dr. Brahmra said that we will repeat the Vangmaya Tapas once more.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Okay. Vangmaya tapas. Okay. Oh, this is forward, right? I will just quickly browse through. Okay. Here is Vangmaya tapas. Yeah. So there is Kaik tapas, Manasik tapas, which we have already seen. And there is the third is the Vak tapas, that is the discipline at the level of speech. So it is verse 15. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते. Speech which does not cause agitation, which is true, pleasing, and beneficial, and daily repetition of one's own Veda are collectively called discipline of speech. When you talk to another person, what is the reason for talking? Whether you want to convey something or share something like your knowledge or your experience, there is definitely an intention. Vivaksha. Shankara says a sentence is used for creating a cognition and understanding in another person. If that speech is to be tapas, it must have certain characteristics. In speaking, using words that do not cause any kind of pain to another person, that is, those that are anudvegakara. Udvegakara means agitation. Udvegakara is that which causes udvega, and anudvegakara is that which is not udvegakara. So those that are anudvegakara is very important. When I speak, what I say or how I say should not invoke irritation in the person, in the person I am addressing. Then again, what I say has to be also satyam, true, and it should bring happiness to the person immediately as it is being said. This is called priya. Not only that, it should bring happiness in the long run also. That is, it should be beneficial to that person. Hita. Here Shankara spends a lot of time analyzing these words. Shankara says the word cha and here means that all four things that are mentioned here have equal status. Only if the speech includes all of them is it Vangmayam Tapas. If it is lacking in any one or two or three of these, it is not Vangmayam Tapas. What I say may be very pleasant, Priya, and not at all irritating, Anudvegakara, but it may not be true, Satya, at all, and therefore certainly not beneficial, Hita. Or it may be pleasing, Priya, and even true, Satya, but not good for the person, Hita. It may be pleasing to hear, for example, that the admission is free at the local race track today and it is true or true. But it is not Hita if it is said to a compulsive gambler. He will be very happy to hear it, but it is not good for him at all. Then there is a statement which is absolutely truthful, but is very painful to hear. My friend may not be very intelligent, but if I tell him so, it will definitely cause him pain and it will not do him any good either. Such a statement may be Satya but is not Anudvegakara, Priya or Hita. This type of speech is not Vangmayam Tapas. A sentence that will fall under the definition of Vangmayam Tapas has all four. Shankara gives an example, Shanto Bhavavatsa, Swadhyayam Yogam cha Anutishta, Tatha cha Shreyo Bhavishyati. My dear boy, may you be at peace. Follow the daily study of your Veda and Karma Yoga, then you will have moksha, freedom. See how beautiful this sentence is? Even as he is told to calm himself in this way, Shanto Bhavavatsa, his mind whitens. It is Anudvegakara. Generally, we get angry and say, keep quiet or enough. That does not work. The person may become quiet, but definitely not calm. That statement is Udvegakara. Then he tells him to study the Shastra and follow a life of Karma Yoga. This is something that is good for him right now, Priya, and also good for him later, Hita. And he tells him that if he does all this, he will get moksha. It is true, Satya, and also good for him, Hita. Even if he fails to get moksha here, it will produce a better life for him next time, where he will pick up the thread and continue. There is no problem here. It is good for him now and in the future. In this life itself, he will get relative freedom from the hold of his likes and dislikes. A sentence like this, which has all the four characteristics, is Vangmayam Tapas. Discipline at the level of speech also includes the repetition of one's own Veda, Swadhyaya Abhyasana. Daily one has to repeat one's own Veda or at least a portion of it. If he cannot repeat even a portion, he repeats the Gayatri Mantra because it is considered to be the essence of all Vedas. If he cannot repeat that too, it is enough to say Om Tat Sat. About this, he is going to talk about later. Wherever there is karma involved, there are options. But at the same time, it has to be done in one form or the other. This Swadhyaya Abhyasana can be converted into the daily study of the scripture. The daily study or repetition of some verses of praise or a mantra is also Swadhyaya Bhyasana. But to do it without fail every day is very important. All this together form Vangmayam Tapas. Then, what is mental tapas? Okay, I hope the Vangmayam Tapas is clear. Satya, Priya, Hita. Our speech should be. And what is the fourth one? Satya, Satyam, Priyam, Hitam,
Anudvegakaram.
Anudvegakaram. It should not create any kind of udvega in other person. So anudvegakaram, Satyam, Priyam, and Hita. It should be beneficial. Or all four are must in Vangmayam Tapas. And for having those, we have to do our Swadhyaya Abhyasa in the form of daily chanting. If it is not possible, then Gayatri Mantra, and if that is also not possible, then only Om Tat Sat. All these together form Vangmayam Tapas. Then what is mental tapas? Manah prasada saumyatvam maunam atma vinigrahah bhava samshuddhirityetata tapo manasamuchyate. Manah prasadah, mental cheerfulness, saumyatvam, cheerfulness in expression, maunam, absence of pressure to talk, atma vinigraha, mastery over the mind, bhava samshuddhihi, clean intent, iti etat, all this, manasam tapas, mental discipline, uchyate is called. Manah prasada saumyatvam, maunam atma vinigraha, bhava samshuddhihi, iti etat, manasam tapas uchyate. Mental cheerfulness, cheerfulness in expression, absence of pressure to talk, mastery over the mind, clean intent, these together is called mental discipline. Manav prasada is mental cheerfulness. The word mental is used deliberately here because sometimes you can put on an appearance of cheerfulness but not be mentally cheerful at all. A discipline which helps you acquire and maintain mental cheerfulness is called tapas. It involves a prayerful attitude and an acceptance of yourself and of the situation in which you find yourself. This includes acceptance of the past and of the world as we find it. Futuristic conjectures are also resolved in an attitude of surrender and simple appreciation. If an ant can live its life, I can also live my life cheerfully. I do not need to prove myself to anybody. Remember this sentence, very, very important. I do not need to prove myself to anybody. These are all simple things, but then these things count a lot because it is the simple things that bring about cheerfulness. It involves living one day at a time, and that is a life in keeping with reality. Today is real. Tomorrow I may not be here at all. It is not that I worry about what will happen tomorrow. Today I am alive, and what is to be done this day, I just do. The future can take care of itself. If I can manage today, tomorrow I have only one day to manage. This is the truth about life. Your whole life, all you have to manage is one day. You have to find food and cook for one day. In fact, it can be reduced to one meal. One day is too long, really, but that is good enough to understand this. Even if you are worried, your worry is only for one day. Yesterday's worry is gone. What happened yesterday was yesterday. It is not today. If yesterday you made a mistake, that is fine. You are wiser for it. If you are worried about it today, not only yesterday was spoiled, today also is wasted in worrying about what happened yesterday. With reference to the result of action and what is to be done, a certain surrender allows you to live happily. So, with prashada buddhi and surrender. The life of an ant is a good example. It is very busy and it has its own time off also. You can see it just sitting there in one place for some time and then getting busy. Then it seems to communicate something to another ant who is approaching, and that one turns around and they go off together for some exploit. Both of them or a gang of them go and attack some sugar crystal. It is too big for one of them to manage, but together they can pull the sugar crystal to where they want it and finish off the whole thing. In between, the ant stops. It takes its own time. It does not seem to worry much, even though people are walking nearby. It can die any time, but it does not seem concerned. It just keeps busy. If that ant can survive, not only one, but teeming millions right on the sidewalk, living as I am in this vast world, I can easily find my livelihood. The future will take care of itself. I may plan for the future, but I do what I can do today. That is all. Today's plan is like this, and tomorrow's plan may be the same, or I may revise it. This one day at a time never goes away. These are the attitudes that bring about surrender. Then there is a law that what will be will be. Bhavitavyam Bhavateva, Bhavatyeva. This is an important shock absorber. What is to happen will happen. I do what I can. That is the truth about living. Did you ever think you would be where you are today? It all happens thanks to one thing or the other. You find yourself in a given situation because there is a certain plan going on underneath. Let it unfold itself. You take things day by day and shape whatever comes your way. You do not allow yourself to be like driftwood. You hold the gear all right, but at the same time, you recognize that there is a certain unfoldment taking place in your life which has its own meaning. That meaning you can discover and face as it unfolds. Let life be full of surprises. If you know that everything will happen according to your plan, you need not even leave. Just imagine if you know everything that is going to happen, all the menus for your whole lifetime, what you are going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, everything is completely mapped out and made known to you. There is no fun in this. There are no surprises, no truths of no turns of events. If you want to have some surprises, make your plans, do what you have to, and leave the outcome to the factors that shape the unfolding of events. What is to happen to you, your own prarabdha, and that of others are all intertwined. This is how things happen. If you have understood and assimilated even what has happened so far, you have an attitude that is ready for surprises. That is mental cheerfulness. Mana prasada. So beautiful. If we look back our own life, then it is so true. The things happen. It is not that we are doing and it is happening. It's just happening. And that will create that attitude of surrender and prasada buddhi, and that will bring the mana prasada, mental cheerfulness, which is natural. It is not artificial.
Jai Gurudev Bela, can you just go back to that ant story? Sorry, I'm asking you to do
Yeah,
that, but you can
yeah,
just read that ant story and from then on, yeah.
yeah.
So it is an attitude of having a prayerful attitude, an attitude of living in the present one day at a time, and also an attitude of surrender.
Yes.
Whatever happens will happen, and you're in full acceptance of yourself, the situations around, and
People around
to
also. Yeah.
drop your worry of the future and the the regret of the past. Basically, it is like living in the moment. Yeah, and you
Yes.
get the culture. Thanks.
Yeah. Very beautiful. Dhanyavad for summarizing. The life of an ant is a good example. It is very busy and it has its own time off also. You can see it just sitting there in one place for some time and then getting busy. Then it seems to communicate something to another ant who is approaching, and that one turns around and they go off together for some exploit. Both of them or a gang of them go and attack some sugar crystal. It is too big for one of them to manage, but together they can pull the sugar crystal to where they want it and finish off the whole thing. In between, the ant stops. It takes its own time. It does not seem to worry much, even though people are walking nearby. It can die any time. but it does not seem concerned. It just keeps busy. If that ant can survive, not only one, but teeming millions, right on the sidewalk, living as I am in this vast world, I can easily find my livelihood. The future will take care of itself. I may plan for the future, but I do what I can do today. That is all. Today's plan is like this, and tomorrow's plan may be the same, or I may revise it. This one day at a time never goes away. These are the attitudes that bring about surrender. Should I read the whole thing or only the story?
No, the story is fine. Thank you. So remembering the life of the ant and how they live with total surrender, just doing what they do.
Yeah, indirectly it is
Let's
also team spirit, right? They do together.
yeah,
One ant alone doesn't eat the whole sugar cube. She
right.
invites everybody. So that is also a lesson. So beautiful.
Please go
That
ahead.
take a
Yeah,
pause and she takes her own time also. She doesn't
correct.
care. Uh,
There is
Yeah.
no hurry, there is no worry.
And I think all birds, and if you watch birds, animals, they are also the same, right? Carefree. They do not do storing the things.
They are not anxious to um, hoard. Unlike human beings, we are
Mhm.
worried about tomorrow. Not that you should not plan, you should be practical, yes, but sometimes we get so caught up in this what about me, what about tomorrow, that we
Hmm.
fail to live today properly, fully, with that mental cheer. The half our mind space in the upper story is occupied by anxiety and regret.
Hmm.
The
The
story of ant is the best thing, because ant move everywhere, and we don't know. We walk over it. We at any moment. It's not day also. At any moment it can die, but it is not worried. It is going around. Its work. It is doing its work. It's not so wonderful. It is really very very surrender power. I like the ant story very much.
Yeah, and if you create some obstacle, maybe if you want to stop it, it will not bother. It will find its own way.
So wonderful.
It will not stop there. It will go to the other side. Hmm. So the whole nature, the whole creation is like that. We have so much to learn from them.
being in ourselves is so important, no?
Correct.
Don't become football of others' opinion. Means all points, course points comes again.
Hmm. Living in the present moment.
The
And
whole
for
idea
ants,
is about mental cheerfulness, right? So that's one sentence. What is to happen to you, your own prarabdha and that of the others are all intertwined. So not only your own and somebody else also intertwined. This is how things happen. You
Hmm.
have understood and assimilated even what has happened so far. You have an attitude that is ready for surprises. That is mental cheerfulness, mana prasada. So you have to understand and assimilate what had happened in the past also. And then develop an attitude that you have an attitude ready for the surprises. So whatever comes, you take it. So that's a mental cheerfulness. So
Mhm.
It is said, no, I will plan, but tomorrow I may revise my plan, tomorrow's plan. So there will be surprise. So we have to change somewhat there also.
yeah, that's what it's meant, right? Like, see,
Yeah,
but
that
you want to plan out all your breakfast, lunch, dinner for the rest of your life? No. So there is going to be some surprises. There won't be any surprises if we did like that. So that's where you welcome everything with that cheerfulness, like whatever it's in Manaprasad.
Yeah. I'm also reminded of how the river flows. The river flows and it just flows, no matter what obstacles come in its way.
Yeah.
If there is a boulder, it goes past it or goes over it.
Mhm.
How the ant over there, in the ant example. So being
Correct.
flexible, moving with the flow, with and
Where
being
it is
ease.
quiet and it can become turbulent, it can become anything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's very nice way to look at it
Ease with
also.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That mental cheerfulness is such a beautiful practice to have the attitude of mental cheerfulness. No matter what. See, when everything is going nice, doesn't require any effort to keep that mental cheer. But when things don't go your way, if you're still able to, which is where that sama dukkha sukha kshami, where in both sad, in happy times and sad times, if you're able to keep your mental cheer and your balance, that is this manasam tapas. Having
yesterday,
that voice.
yesterday in the satsang, Gurudev said, means what I relate now. Somebody asked how should I overcome the craving. So he said, "Ki you just wait. Means see if you don't have that anytime, then how will you have still survived? Then some different space opens up. Same with our plans. If that plan doesn't work, still in the past we have this such thing has happened, but we still survived. So there is no worry. We can change the plan. Like that, I relate now. So the vastness comes and the surprises will also come. So that cheerful ways, if we accept that situations like that, the cheerfulness will be not lost. Otherwise, we will keep worrying. So we will be not ready for the next moments. We will be in the past moment only.
Yeah, wonderful sharings. Dhanyavad, everyone. So I'll just repeat this very beautiful paragraph once again. Then there is a law that what will be, will be. Bhavitavyam bhavatyeva. This is an important shock absorber. What is to happen will happen. I do what I can. That is the truth about living. Did you ever think you would be where you are today? It all happens thanks to one thing or the other. You find yourself in a given situation because there is a certain plan going on underneath. Let it unfold itself. You take things day by day and shape whatever comes your way. You do not allow yourself to be like driftwood. You hold the gear all right, but at the same time, you recognize that there is a certain unfoldment taking place in your life which has its own meaning. That meaning you can discover and face as it unfolds. Let life be full of surprises. If you know that everything will happen according to your plan, you need not even leave. Just imagine if you know everything that is going to happen, all the menus for your whole lifetime, what you are going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything is completely mapped out and made known to you. There is no fun in this. There are no surprises, no turns of events. If you want to have some surprises, make your plans, do what you have to, and leave the outcome to the factors that shape the unfolding of events. What is to happen to you, your own prarabdha and that of others are all intertwined. This is how things happen. If you have understood and assimilated even what has happened so far, you have an attitude that is ready for surprises. That is mental cheerfulness, mana prasada. A number of things are involved in this. Whenever concern or anxiety arises, we resolve it by bringing back the proper attitude. Just remind yourself that it is nice being yourself. Say to yourself, it is nice being myself. In whichever area you have to change, make efforts to change. If necessary, take help, even the help of Bhagwan in the form of prayer. I do not have to prove myself to anybody. If another person thinks ill of me, it is his problem. I just accept myself as I am. It is nice being myself. Have a sentence like this and repeat it now and then like a mantra. You will find that you are together as a person. That is, at least psychologically, the result of the teaching. Of course, essentially, there is nothing but yourself. You are the only one here, and therefore there is no problem. But even psychologically, it is just nice being myself. I accept myself as I am totally. I do not need to prove anything to anybody on this earth. I repeat, of course, essentially, there is nothing but yourself. You are the only one here, and therefore there is no problem. But even psychologically, it is just nice being myself. I accept
Please
myself.
read one more time the previous paragraph, please.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay.
That is mental cheerfulness, mana prasada. A number of things are involved in this. Whenever concern or anxiety arises, we resolve it by bringing back the proper attitude. Just remind yourself that it is nice being yourself. Say to yourself, it is nice being myself. In whichever area you have to change, make efforts to change. If necessary, take help, even the help of Bhagwan in the form of prayer. I do not have to prove myself to anybody. If another person thinks ill of me, it is his problem. I just accept myself as I am. It is nice being myself. Have a sentence like this and repeat it now and then like a mantra. you will find that you are together as a person. That is, at least psychologically, the result of the teaching. Of course, essentially, there is nothing but yourself. You are the only one here, and therefore there is no problem. But even psychologically, it is just nice being myself. I accept myself as I am totally. I do not need to prove anything to anybody on this earth, not even to God. If I have to prove myself to God, then His acceptance of me would become conditional. Then He is not God. He is like any other person. If the person who does not accept you as you are is someone who cares for you and therefore you care for his opinion, what kind of care is that? When someone cannot accept you as you are, what is that care? Suppose a nurse taking care of a patient does not accept him as he is. She complains that he goes on scratching, but that is his problem. That is why she is taking care of him. She can tell him not to scratch too much, or put some gloves on him, or cut his nails so that he does not create new problems for himself. But she has to accept him as he is. That is what care is. When if someone cares for me, he must necessarily take me as I am. That is what counts. Those who really care for you do not have any opinion about you. They just take you as you are. If someone mistakes you, it is his problem. Just remember, it is nice being myself. When you get up in the morning, acknowledge that it is nice being alive. You do not take life for granted. It is one more day for celebration. Plan how you will celebrate today. Even under the shower, you can start celebrating. Like this, celebrate the day with what you are doing. It does not mean that you must bake a cake every day. Anything that you do is a celebration. I am alive today. It is nice being alive. It is nice doing what I do. That is what the attitude is. This is Mana Prasada. So beautifully, Swamiji is taking time to explain the one word Mana Prasada. How important it is to remain cheerful from within. That can happen only when you accept yourself as complete. You do not need anybody's approval. But that doesn't mean that you do not make your own efforts to modify your behavior if it is wrong. And you can take help of Bhagavan in the form of prayer in doing that. So with that beautiful Manah Prasada, we go to the next Saumyatva. When the mind has this attitude, there is Saumyatva. This is an expression of the frame of mind, the Antahkarana Vritti. Shankara says it is clarity, Swachhata, which is also cheerfulness. Shankara says something very interesting here. Suppose a father's eyebrows are raised when he looks at his son. From this external indication, the boy understands his father's mental state, that he is angry. Then, as a son, he tries to please him. Once the father is pleased, what happens? He has a smile. From this smile, the child is able to understand that his father is okay now. The facial expression reveals what is in the mind. That pleased frame of mind, vritti, reflected in the face is what is called saumyatva. Thus, Shankara says, from the cheerfulness of the face, etc., the frame of mind is inferred. When Manah Prasada is there, there is an external expression evident on the face, and that is what they call Saumyatva. It reveals a cheerfulness in the mind. From the mouth, eyes, eyebrows, words, the whole demeanor of the person, you infer that he is pleased. The tapas here is when you are displeased, you bring back a pleased condition of mind, which will bring about a smile. This is not a behavioral modification, but a change that comes about by a process of thinking. I repeat this once again. The facial expression reveals what is in the mind. That pleased frame of mind, vritti, reflected in the face is what is called saumyatva. Thus, Shankara says, from the cheerfulness of the face, etc., the frame of mind is inferred. When Manah Prasada is there, there is an external expression evident on the face, and that is what they call Saumyatva. It reveals a cheerfulness in the mind. From the mouth, eyes, eyebrows, words, the whole demeanor of the person, you infer that he is pleased. The tapas here is when you are displeased, you bring back a pleased condition of mind which will bring about a smile. This is not a behavioral modification, but a change that comes about by a process of thinking. I think this is very profound line. This is not a behavioral modification, but a change that comes about by a process of thinking. So that is what is tapas here.
It is not like the artificial smile that the air hostess puts up. It is from within. You're happy, that inner joy, that of a contented person. That clarity is so important. The one that the previous paragraph talked of clarity, mental clarity.
And I think that mental clarity happens only when there is arjava. When from within what you are same outside also. If there is confusion within, and if you are trying to put a mask, and then if you try to show that you are not that what you are inside, then it will be again a confusion, I think.
Very
Yes,
true.
even
But
if
this
you
is,
are displeased, but the process of thinking ki it will be like that, or if we can change it, then that contentment will come up, and then the external appearance will change. So you will be mana prasada. Again, the inner happiness or inner that saumyatva will come.
No, the
yeah,
process here is the thinking, Everything depends upon the thinking, how you think. Whatever you think, you become, And you perceive the whole world with your thinking only. Your thought. If thought that world is mithya, it is mithya. Everything happens inside you, not outside. So it has to come from in. Manaprasada and Somyatva. It comes from within, not the behavior. That is acting.
And the way we think depends on our orientation from childhood, from how we have, from the lifetimes, what all samskaras we have gathered. Sometimes the orientation is so difficult to, the patterned way of thinking is so difficult to overcome, which is why this effort of listening to the Shastra, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is where we overcome this orientation and then we revel in this truth of this knowledge. So, repeated, that is why the Swadhyaya is important in the Kayika Tapas. Reading from your scriptures, a daily bit of practice, so that we are kind of reforming the patterns that are there. We are unlearning and relearning there.
The best way for best thinking is Gayatri Mantra. You pray to God to give you a good thought. That is the Gayatri Mantra. And everything depends upon it.
Yeah, Gayatri Mantra is not it's not a prayer for ourselves. It is a collective prayer.
Collective.
It's a prayer for everyone. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. May there be that light of wisdom shining upon all of us. It's a collective prayer. Yeah.
It also brings
Belaji, in previous paragraph, there is a line, "You are not the one only," something like that. Because there was a
you want me to read? It is nice here.
I just, because I have not followed the page, but somewhere in the previous it is said that you are not the one because you are a collective consciousness, like something. Not consciousness word is used, but it was like
you are, yes, it is prarabdha of others is also involved. Yeah, I will read that. Yes, no.
I think the thing was, ultimately you are the only one.
Yeah.
I think that is the...
Yeah, correct.
So when you look at the Advaita aspect, ultimately there is only one.
Mm-hmm.
We are only getting caught up in the samsara where there is this duality and multiplicity. But when that clarity of thinking is there, that ultimately there is only one, all this actually doesn't matter. It is that with our small mind, we give so much of importance to what this person said, what that person said, this event and that event, situations. That's my understanding. But you can read that again, Belaji.
Yeah, here it is. If you want to have some surprises, make your plans, do what you have to, and leave the outcome to the factors that shape the unfolding of events. What is to happen to you, your own prarabdha, and that of others are all intertwined. This is how things happen. If you have understood and assimilated even what has happened so far, you have an attitude that is ready for surprises. That is mental cheerfulness, manav prasada. This was the line, Sarlaji.
What Brahmaraji has explained was the correct, but I have not seen that line in this paragraph now.
I think here
okay, it's okay. You can continue.
No,
but what
I think here
Brahmaraji
it has been
was the correct.
meant, it has been meant over here. You might plan, but it may not come as you expected because your prarabdha is intertwined with other many things. And the outcome may, though you have planned your way, it may not come out. There will be a surprise because along with your prarabdha, there are many other things which will impact on the result. This is what it meant, I feel.
I think what Sarlaji had asked for was in the next para, maybe. I'm not sure where, but it was about ultimately you're the only one. So maybe you can just check that out.
There
Leela.
was only one sentence there. That yes, it was in the last paragraph mostly.
Yeah, if you see there is only one self, right? Which is
That.
manifested in the whole creation. If that knowledge is there, then there is no sadness. Yeah. So Saumyatva comes only when I think there is one beautiful thing here Swamiji said about the Sattva Samshuddhi also, like Antakarana Vritti. If that is clear, then I think the rest of the things will be automatically clear. When your Antakarana is Shuddha, when you have no likes or dislikes, Raga Dvesha, then that Manav Prasada tapas is achieved, and that Saumyatva will come automatically on your face, in your eyes. That's why we see when you look at the pictures of Sri Ramana Maharshi or Ram Krishna, that karuna from their eyes, it continuously flows, right? And from their lives reading, although they were in so much pain, but still they continue to, I mean, on the outside external, they were not aware what kind of pain. He must be going through physical pain, but on their face, it was not revealed at all. That Saumyatva was always there.
When we are in the sanidhya of such personalities, that sanidhya, sarupya, all that matters, no?
Samipya,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Correct. In the, yeah.
See, I think yesterday's satsang was really wonderful. I have sent the link. You see, it is so very good. It is relevant to our Manana. You can go through it. But telling about the Saumyatvam and Karuna, Karuna, I saw yesterday, all the days he does it, but yesterday I noticed it, that when he gets up from the seat after the satsang, he goes back, and there the police people and the security people, they would be watching that nobody should come there. And many people also who doesn't have the seat here, they would be standing. So he goes there and blesses them, everyone. So Karuna, everyone is sitting in the front of it, but he is so much worried also for others who is sitting, taking care of the things, and he blessed them. And he is blessing the whole at the backward, and yes, everyone. Oh, such a Karuna. Really, I saw that yesterday's satsang. Wonderful it is. Really, that you told, no? In the presence of Mahatma, you get all that. So I understood it. It's the presence of Guruji, which makes a lot of difference. Thank you. Sorry to go off.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Mrinalji or someone can help in taking over the session, please. Hari Om.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'll
Dhanyavad.
share as well.
Yeah. We are on page 152.
Yeah, Gurudev was also talking. I was looking at one reel yesterday about mirror neurons. In that, how the science is actually now proving that what is in your mind, your thought process, is reflected on the other person as well, and vice versa. For instance, if you are in conversation and a person becomes very angry, those angry neurons in that other person can affect you, and you also become angry. While this is true, this is also true of positivity. So if we practice this manah prasada, your cheerfulness is there and it is kind of stable inside of you, you will positively affect everybody around you and create those waves of happiness and joy. So now, not just for our sake, when you are practicing all of this, it has a positive impact on the environment as well.
Brahmaraji, we are closing by 9, and many times we have no time to that Ashtakam. So I feel we should close by 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
And do
We'll do that.
That please.
Yeah.
That is really.
We'll make sure by 6.
Yeah.
It's now 6,
Every
7.
day we are missing it.
Correct. 6:20 we'll finish so that we have 10 minutes at least for that.
Yeah, so good. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. No. It's a very good suggestion.
Yeah.
I was only wanting to stick to the time and the discipline of time, but
Yeah,
we'll
but
make
no,
sure
we
that
will
we'll
not
include
discuss
that.
more than that. We will
Yeah.
not discuss more than that, but we will have that. What was happening is we are sharing and we skipping it. But later on, I will go to YouTube and do that. But
Maya Panchakam, no? It's
Maya, not much this
Nirvana Shatakam.
Nirvana Shatakam.
Nirvana Shatakam and Jnana Brahma
Brahma
Jnana.
Jnana Vali Mala.
I think one day this, one day that.
Yeah, we can alternate.
Because that is positive and this is negative. Brahma Jnana Mala is positive. Asangoham, asangoham, asang. Here everything, I am not that, I am not that.
Neti.
So one day
Negative.
that, one day this, that will be, that will balance us. Good.
Mrinan, you can read for about 10 minutes and then I can request you to share Nirvana Shatakam if you're able to. You can share screen for that. Yeah, thanks.
I think we stopped here, but the change that comes about by a process of thinking, yeah, we stopped there. Mauna is restraint in speaking, even though it is a discipline of the organ of speech and might be included in the discussion of Vak Tapas. Here it is considered as mental discipline. Why? Speaking properly and sometimes not speaking is possible only when you have mauna inside. When there are certain words that you want to say and you refrain from saying them, that is mauna. If the thoughts themselves do not arise, that also is mauna. Even if they do, by proper thinking, you eliminate the necessity to express them. In this way, the pressure to talk is not built up inside. The effect of absence of necessity to talk is externally expressed as mauna. The effect of the absence of necessity to talk is externally expressed as mauna. Generally, there is always a pressure to talk. we built it up. The absence of such a pressure to talk to another person is what is called mauna. This silence at the level of speech is because of the mind being silent. It is a tapas because it can be accomplished only by discipline. There is an attempt involved by proper thinking to bring about mauna. Atma Vinigraha is mastery over the ways of the mind in general. There is no ambiguity about the meaning of the word Atma here. Since the topic is mental tapas, it can only mean mind. Mauna is a particular aspect of this tapas with reference to speech. But Atma Vinigraha is mastery with the reference to everything. By proper discipline, one gains a certain mastery over the ways of thinking and is not carried away by a thought process. Whatever is necessary in following this discipline is called tapas. Any writing that you do to give expression to a feeling that you do not want to verbalize to someone, or any kind of therapy you undergo is also Atma Vinigraha. It includes anything you do which is useful in getting rid of some pressure. All your emotions have to be put in order, and whatever you do to accomplish that comes under Atma Vinigraha. Anything you do for the sake of mental health is a sadhana. It is not outside yoga. Bhava Samshuddhi is a particular technical expression. Clean intentions when you are dealing with people is Bhava Samshuddhi. Whether your motives are understood by others or not, they are clean. The motive is at the level of the mind, not action. If the motive is not clean, we analyze why this is so and thereby get rid of the particular type of thinking that allowed such a motive to come. Shankara explains this bhava samshuddhi as amayavitva, amayavitva, absence of deception. Mayavi means, in this context, a cheat. He does or says one thing and thinks something entirely different. This nature of Mayavi is called Mayavitva. The one who is free from this Mayavitva, one who is totally free from any deceit in his interactions with people, has Bhava Samshuddhi. All these together constitute Manasam Tapas, Manasam Tapas. Now this threefold tapas, Kayika, physical, Vachika, oral, and Manasa, mental, is going to be further categorized as threefold depending on the disposition of the one who is doing it. The same thing can be done, but the way in which it is done and the purpose for which it is done determine whether it is Satvika tapas, Rajika tapas, or Tamasika tapas. श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्स्त्रिविधं नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्त्रस्त्रिविधं नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते तत्त्रिविधं तपस् that threefold tapas afalankakshibhihi naraihi by the people who have no expectation of results other than mental purity yuktaihi who are composed paraya shraddhaya with total shraddha taptam observed satvikam satvika परिचक्षते they call tat trividham tapas अफलाकांक्षिभिः नरैः युक्तैः परया श्रद्धया तप्तं सात्विकं परिचक्षते that threefold tapas observed with total shraddha by people who have no expectation of results other than mental purity and who are composed is called satvika. Shraddhaya paraya means with shraddha which is complete. It lacks nothing. With full shraddha, the tapas discipline is observed. Taptam. In what is this shraddha? It is the shraddha that what Shastra says is true astikya buddhi. Astikya buddhi. Astikya buddhi. Because of this, all the stipulations that are mentioned in the Shastra are followed without compromise. Not only that, he has the same astikya buddhi in what the Guru says. The words of the teacher are looked upon as true by him. If he does not understand them, he tries to understand them with the assumption that they are true. This tapas is observed by human beings, naraihi, in a threefold way. Trividham, that is Kayika, Vachika, and Manasa. Who are the people by whom the tapas being discussed here is done? They are not doing it for the sake of a result like security, pleasure, or punya to be enjoyed later. They are free of all such expectations with reference to results. They are the afalakanshis and are doing it only for mental purity, antakarana shuddhi. They have a mind which is composed and committed, yukta. Those who have been well taught say, parichakshas, parikanshite. That tapas of this sort done by people like this is satvika. I'll read this paragraph. This tapas is observed by human beings, naraihi, in a threefold way, trividham, that is kayika, vachika, and manasa. Who are the people by whom tapas being discussed here is done? They are not doing it for the sake of result like security, pleasure, or punya to be enjoyed later. They are free of all such expectations with reference to results. They are afalakanshis and are doing it only for mental purity, antakarana shuddhi. They have a mind which is composed and committed, yukta. Those who have been well taught say, those who have been well taught say, parikankshite. That tapas of this sort done by people like this is satvika. Next, Bhagavan talks about rajasika tapas.
Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, we'll stop
I
here.
think
Right?
we'll stop here. And if you can just maybe just chant the other two verses that we did. It was 16, 17, I think, right? We did?
Yeah.
Let me know if you want me to chant.
Yeah, you can, please.
Not
Can you
able
please?
to touch the thing. Yeah. Normally I'm able to enlarge it on my mobile, but there is a problem with mine.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Rinal.
मनःप्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपो मानसमुच्यते. श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्स्त्रिविधं नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते. Yeah.
I think we've done Manana on the first two that we did today. We'll continue with verse 18, I think, tomorrow. Is it 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, those that do it with the Satvika attitude, they do it without any expectations. They do it only for Antakarna Shuddhi. So whatever tapas that is done, Kaika, Manasika, Vachika tapas, is done only with that intention. I think we'll close our eyes here and we'll do the Shanti part. And Mrinal, if you're able to share Nirvana Shatakam, you can share that after the Shanti part. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Mano शिवो नो मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कार चित्तानि नाहम् न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न च प्राणसंज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायुः न वा सप्तधातु न वा पञ्चकोशः न वाक्पाणिपादौ न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मे द्वेषरागो न मे लोभमोहो मदोर्नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञः अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपो विभुर्व्याप्य सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां सदा मे समत्वं न मुक्तिर्न बन्धः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्